my job at 16 years old was to call people at 9 p.m. cold and try and get them to buy windows and doors. And it taught me the exact lesson you're describing, which is, yes, 80% of people tell you to fuck off. I always say like 80% told me to fuck off. 15% said it in a nice way. And then 5% were at least receptive to what I had to say. But when you understand that, you think of life through that lens.
And actually, Stephen, I had the almost same experience. So my father was an entrepreneur. He was really smart at identifying what I call offering gaps, like things that should exist in the world, but didn't. And he would get these businesses off the ground with no money. I saw him do it repeatedly. His downfall was he was very aggressive in growing the businesses. And so they didn't have staying power. There was almost no equity, always very levered. So he went bankrupt 8 or 9 times, right, repeatedly. When I was about 11 or 12 years old, my brother and I, we were like his board of directors, okay, because he had nobody else. The 3 of us would sit down at night to figure out how to make the business last for one more day. Okay, everything's caving in, the creditors are caving in, the business is collapsing. How do we make it work for one more day? And then the next night we'd get together and how do we get it work for one more day again, right? At 16, and I don't know why my dad did this, but I'm so grateful that he did. At that time, he had a gold jewelry factory in Dubai. And he was going cold calling in person to jewelry shops to buy his jewelry that he was manufacturing. So he took me with him on many of these trips. And I was 16, just like you, right? So we would take the taxi from Dubai to Abu Dhabi. And now there's all these gold shops. He doesn't know any of them, right? And he's going one after the other, after the other, after the other. And I would be stunned that 5th shop, he makes a sale.
Yeah.
And it's a very small sale because he has no trust and all that, but he's made the sale. Then I noticed that after 3 months, we go back to that same shop we made the little sale to. The guy brings out tea. There's a lot of chemistry, bigger order. And then I saw the orders increase, right? And then he's continuing to do that. I went with him to Doha, Qatar. And again, the same thing. It was like, I saw how those doors opened and I saw how it didn't matter to him when they closed. That was irrelevant to him.
Really interesting new way to think about it, because what you're saying there is actually, when you get that one yes, it's actually a seed that's being planted that can grow into something